Did you
Yeah,
think
isn't
Batman
it?
was actually dead?
I did. I thought that was it. I thought he was done. I thought we were going to see Dick Grayson or Alfred take over the cowl after this episode, and that was who it was for the rest of it. But
Alfred
no,
as Batman.
yeah, should have known not to trust the people who wrote this episode because they tricked me
I
again.
am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. People of Earth, I am Darkseid, Lord of Apocalypse.
Service with a smile?
I know about all your other major enemies, but you never mentioned him. He was the biggest, wasn't he?
Oh, come on, it's Lex Flippin' Luthor. Why should we trust him?
What? Like a bunch of super friends?
More like a Justice League.
We are back, and truly this time, it is just me and Connor talking about some Volume 2 episodes of Batman the Animated Series.
No Everest.
Nope, not this
Or
time.
is there?
His almost got him senses are not going off right now, so he
Will he
will not
cameo?
be back.
Maybe he will. Deleted.
Yeah, deleted scenes. So we're going to be talking about I Am the Night, Off Balance, and The Man Who Killed Batman. So, Connor, starting with I Am the Night.
Maybe, maybe not. When you look too long into the abyss looks back through you. Maybe it's time for Batman to return to the night that spawned him, before anyone else gets hurt.
Last video you kind of mentioned that we haven't gotten a lot of Gordon in. Although
Yeah,
he
this
doesn't-
is another Gordon episode.
Yeah, centrally focused on Gordon, and Batman debating on whether being Batman is for the better or not. So,
Yeah.
Connor, what do you think of this episode?
So overall, I didn't love this episode. I thought it was above average. Like, it was better than What is Reality, but it wasn't kind of the super high up on my list of what I liked. Seeing Gordon obviously was great because, like I said for What is Reality, how much it was nice seeing Gordon in a big role since we haven't really seen him too much. So it was good seeing him a lot in this. Also, this is the first time we've seen Dick and Barbara interact.
I believe so.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, have we ever seen them in a scene before? So, because Dick and Barbara is one of the best DC couples in my opinion. So hopefully we see more of them.
When they interact in this episode, I don't even remember that.
It was in the hospital. Dick visits Gordon and Barbara's there.
Was Dick in the hospital?
Maybe it wasn't Dick. I was pretty sure it was.
I don't remember Dick going to the hospital.
I thought he just popped in for a minute and then Barbara was there.
Huh.
I thought it was a really brief scene though, because I remember they didn't really talk much.
I've seen this episode so many times and I've never noticed that.
I'll rewatch after this and make sure I'm right, because
Yeah,
maybe
I'm gonna
I
have to
mixed something
check
up.
on that too. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, the kid bit was weird, like the way he was at the start of it. I thought it was weird how he didn't show up at all after kind of the first 5 minutes, but then when it kind of looped back around to him kind of reassuring Batman that he had a positive effect on him, I did like that. And plus, I also always like when kind of heroes have to go through this trial and error thing of kind of seeing, are they doing something for the good or for the worse? So that was still pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's something that makes sense too, because even like Batman says this, like, no matter how many times I put these villains away, they're just going to escape and like cause more trouble and harm.
And that's like one of the biggest things about Batman. When people argue about should Batman kill or not, everyone kind of brings up about how, well, his villains always end up back out on the streets, so maybe he should kill. So it was good that they kind of brought that up in this episode.
Yeah, the thing about that though, this isn't really about the episode, but like, I mean, this is something you've seen Batman Under the Red Hood. This is something he kind of iterates in that, is if he crosses that line, he's not going to be able to stop. And if he was just murdering all his villains, how would like the citizens of Gotham look at Batman?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Oh. Well, Connor, I love this episode so much.
Okay, so I know the episode. Different opinions on then.
This is one of my favorite episodes just because it really focuses on like the human aspects of Batman. It really focuses on his human side more than it does like his what's the word? I don't know, like the spiritual side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like that he's going through this crisis and just Gordon getting shot just elevates that because he's like, if I was there, I could have saved him.
Yeah, exactly. That was a good I liked though.
Yeah, I just really like the dynamic between Batman and Gordon in this episode, and Gordon doesn't even talk that much throughout the episode, but the whole episode is focused on him.
Yeah, this is the first time we kind of see how much Gordon actually means to Bruce.
Yeah, when he tell Dick or Alfred this? He says, Jim Gordon's the same age my father would be if he hadn't died.
I think it was Alfred.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, that hurt me a little. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it kind of shows that like, even though they haven't ever interacted near as much, Bruce still kind of sees Gordon as that sort of character, kind of like a fatherly character.
Yeah, it's like he pretty much sees Alfred as his second father, but he sees Gordon as a father figure as well.
Yeah.
And the end, I'm just gonna skip to the end real quick because Gordon says something like, I wanted to be a hero like you, and then Batman's just like, you are a hero, Jim. I was like, oh, I don't know, this episode just really pulled at my heartstrings.
Yeah. That's it. I thought that all like the Bruce stuff where he was kind of focusing on if he's doing something for the good was the best part of the episode, and it was the other stuff that I wasn't too keen on.
Yeah, there was that line too, I think is one of the best lines in the whole show is, when you look into the abyss for too long, eventually it looks back into you.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if they were meaning like Nightwing foreshadowing by this or not, but when Bruce is talking to Dick, he's like, how much longer before I hurt someone else close to me? Alfred, you. And I just started thinking about like how Dick becomes Nightwing and all that.
That's true, actually, I didn't think of that.
Because
like I want to see Dick become Nightwing for sure, but I don't know if we've seen him do enough as Robin yet for that transition to be as good as it could be.
Yeah, well, he doesn't become Nightwing until the new Batman Adventures, so.
Okay, good.
And Volume 3, you're really gonna get a lot of Robin.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Jazzman, he wasn't the strongest villain at all, but I think he served his purpose, and
yeah,
it was fine.
That's another thing. I didn't think there was too much of an iconic villain.
Oh no, but this episode wasn't about the villain, so
yeah,
it didn't bother me. And then, of course, the differences between Batman and Bullock, how Bullock's kind of mad at Batman for not being there and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually good. I like that as well, because it showed that Bullock, while he's kind of not being too nice, he still does care about Gordon as well, even though he might not be the best officer.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, because he's looking to take down the Jazzman the whole time, too. And once he sees...
Yeah.
Well, he sees Batman and Jazzman fighting, like... out the window, right? Of Gordon's room?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Reminded me a little bit of Jim Gordon and Harry Bullock in Gotham, which is my favorite part about Gotham.
Yeah. So yeah, Connor, I don't have too much more to add. What about you?
No, not really. Just kind of covered it. Like I said, the end where they loot background about the kid was cool. I thought that was a good way of reaffirming that even though it might not seem like it a lot of the time, Batman is having positive effects on people's lives.
Yeah, also Leslie Tompkins is back in this episode.
Yeah, I actually forgot to say that. The Crime Alley scene.
So
that was cool when the guy crushed the rose.
Oh yeah, Batman was heartbroken.
Yeah.
And I guess the last time we saw Leslie Tompkins was at Point Man Crime Alley, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
So in terms of the timeline, it's been exactly 1 year, I would assume, because of Point Man Crime Alley was the night his parents died, and then this was the night his parents died.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. It would have to be. I didn't think about that.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, I like to see more of that sort of stuff. I'm surprised Leslie hasn't been in more episodes because she's a good character.
Yeah, that's another reason I really love this episode, though, is because it just shows, like, how much the people around Batman really do mean to him. Like,
yeah,
with Leslie kind of comforting him, and then how he opens up to Alfred, how he blames himself for what happened to Jim, and he's thinking about what's gonna happen the next time he hurts someone like Dick or Alfred.
Like, one of the biggest misconceptions about Batman is when people always talk about how Batman works alone and how he doesn't really have the supporting cast of characters that people like Superman or Flash have. But I mean, this episode shows perfectly well that he still has a lot of people around him.
Yeah, like he started this crusade not alone because he had Alfred, but it was just him and Alfred.
Yeah.
And then along the way, he like found friends and he found family.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love this episode a lot just because of how emotional it is and how it displays everyone close to Batman, how important they really are to him.
Yeah, exactly. It does do a good job of conveying all that.
Yeah, so Connor, what would you give this episode?
I would give it a C+. Just above average.
Drastically different.
Yeah,
I am
I
giving
can already
it
tell.
an A+.
Wow. I mean, you did make some really good points that are definitely pushing me towards liking it more than I thought I did. Like I didn't see as much in it as you did, so I might give it a rewatch now and see if it changes now that I know all the stuff that you said.
Oh yes, and towards the beginning too, when or it might be towards the middle after. I don't know. It's sometime Batman is talking to Alfred and he's like, "I'm a cliche. They make like shirts and pops of me."
Yeah.
I was like, that's a good point.
Like that. Yeah, actually, that's a pretty good point.
So, jumping into Off Balance, Connor.
So, even in defeat, the detective manages to achieve some small measure of victory. As you said, detective, this is not over.
So, what do you think of this episode?
Yeah, so I really like this episode for a bunch of reasons. When the Society of Shadows showed up, I was like, huh, is that going to be some kind of precursor to the League of Assassins? Because since they're called the League of Shadows in the Dark Knight trilogy, I was like, is that going to lead into that? And then when it was dealing with Count Vertigo, I was like, okay, so they're not probably doing anything about the League of Assassins. But it was great seeing Count Vertigo because we barely ever see him and stuff, and this was a really comic accurate version of Count Vertigo as well, even down to the accent and all of that. Reminded me of the Young Justice version, which is kind of the only other version I can think that had the accuracy. Plus, people always argue about how Arrow steals Batman villains. Well, Batman just stole the Green Arrow villain.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was cool seeing him. Count Vertigo's an underrated villain. They need to use him and stuff more. And then when the woman who turned out to be Talia showed up, I immediately was like, that looks identical to Talia. Like, I'd be very surprised if that wasn't her, and then it was revealed that it was her, and that she was on a mission for Rage, and that all led back to League of Assassins and all that. So I'm assuming the Society of Shadows was in this episode. Like, the reason why they called them that was because they were doing the League of Assassins in this episode as well. Yeah, the version of Vertigo was really interesting. I liked how they beat him with the bells, and then Talia turning on Bruce in classic Talia al Ghul fashion. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I figured you would like this episode quite a bit because of the League Assassin stuff, and of course the tease of Ra's al Ghul, which you've been
was a great tease.
You've been talking about that all throughout this.
Yeah, because Rage is such a good villain.
Yeah, I was really ready to get to this episode because of that, because I don't remember this episode extremely well, but I do remember all the like Talia Batman stuff, and then of course the setup of Ra's.
Yeah, I had no idea he was going to show up there. I didn't think he was going to show up at all until the Demon's Quest.
Yeah, they show him at the end and just kind of leave you on a tease, and then the two-parter isn't too far from now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I like how he's already calling him detective.
Oh yeah. It shows that respect towards Batman.
Yeah.
I can't really add too much more to what you said. I really enjoyed the Batman-Talia dynamic, and Vertigo was a pretty good villain. He's more just kind of a throwaway villain, I guess, just to set up the League of Shadows.
Definitely. I can't see a reason for him to come back much.
No, I don't. Was his death implied in this, or?
I think it was. I think they left it pretty ambiguous, but I couldn't see much of a reason for him to come back.
Yeah, because he fell in the water, and then it cuts to Batman saying, without their leader, Vertigo's crew has fled. So I was like,
yeah,
is he dead? And that's something else towards the beginning of the episode, when the League of Assassins, like, whatever they did with their helmets and stuff, how it the gas came out.
Yeah, it was crazy.
They take their mask off and they're dead. Like they show dead bodies.
Like that's. I don't think we've seen something like that on the show yet.
No, I didn't remember that happened.
Yeah.
Their eyes were wide open. They were dead. I was like, what? Like how? What? How are you
like,
eating?
Vertigo, he steers a tight ship.
Like, you think Joker knows a way past the sensors? Well, the League of Assassins really know a way.
Yeah. that was really cool though. I thought that it was a good way of showing how crazy Vertigo is, because like I like this as well, because Arrow's version of Vertigo, as cool as he is, he's just a drug dealer. There's not too much to him. I like seeing proper versions of him with the powers and all of that sort of, and show how unhinged and crazy he is.
Yes, sometimes throughout this episode, the animation, like, it almost made me feel sick, but like I don't. Really...
Yeah, that was really cool. I thought.
Yeah, I don't count. Like, that's not a gripe against the episode or anything, because it is pretty cool. Because like, if Vertigo was using his powers on you, you would feel that way.
Yeah,
so it's
you would
cool.
just be throwing up everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that they could like display that through animation. And also,
that's the reason why I like the character is because his powers were actually pretty good. Like, they might not seem too powerful, but he would be really, 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 really annoying to fight.
Yeah, especially against a hero that's just human, like Batman or Green Arrow.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's interesting when Batman guides Talia through like the room of traps and all that, when Vertigo's machine is going off and the whole Vertigo effect is going through them. The way Batman gets them through is he closes his eyes.
Yeah.
That was really interesting.
How'd you think about how they beat him with the bells?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It reminded me of the Lego Batman, actually, because the final mission on the hero side is Joker and Harley Quinn in the bell tower.
Oh yeah?
And you ring the bells to like get them out of the bells and then beat the crap out of them. I don't know why. I was like, what?
Maybe it's a callback to this episode.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
That's awesome.
Those games take a lot of inspiration from the Burton movies and Batman the Animated Series. So
yeah, I have Batman, Lego Batman 3, and I still haven't played it.
I need to get Lego Batman 3 to play it one day.
It's got like everyone in it. In terms of DC characters.
Yeah, and then the end when Talia tests the device out and it just spazzes out and I guess it electrocutes her hands or something because she just drops it. And Ra's is like, even in defeat, the detective finds a small victory or whatever.
Yeah. I was surprised that Rage wasn't more like angry towards Talia for losing it.
Yeah, me too.
Like, it seems like Rage would kind of be, don't come home until you figure out a way to fix this or something.
I think it'll make more sense once you see the Demon's Quest, because I don't think Raish's main goal was to really get the device. I think it was more of testing Batman.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Trying to figure out how smart he actually is.
Yeah, because as you know, with Ra's al Ghul, like Ra's al Ghul wants Batman to be his heir in most iterations.
What's successor?
And yeah, it's no different in this one. So
that's cool. I like to think that if he hadn't done that to the weapon, Talia was able to bring the weapon back with nothing happening in like one, that Rage would kind of just forget about Batman and put his eyes on someone else.
Yeah, like, well, Batman, he didn't do anything. He's worthless.
Yeah. Like, he's not fit to be the demon's head.
I'm gonna go destroy the world now.
Yeah, gonna go back and blow up Gotham.
So Connor, you got anything else to add, or do you want to go ahead and give this one some lighter grades?
No, really, I think we've covered it mainly. Just, I really enjoyed this.
Okay, so Connor, what do you give it?
I give it an A-.
Okay, I will give it a B, a solid B.
B. Oh, wow. So you don't actually... I thought you were going to hate this episode the way we were talking about beforehand.
Oh, no, I didn't hate it.
Okay.
It would probably be about a C plus B minus if it wasn't for Ra's and Talia.
Yeah, okay.
Well, if it wasn't for Talia, it would probably be really low, but... Like, Vertigo was fine, but Talia and Bruce really really elevated this.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
Without the League of Assassins connection, I wouldn't have loved it as much either.
yeah, because I'm not sure if you know this or not, but actually Batman, like, when I think of people for Batman to be with, Talia is who I always think of.
I used to think of Talia, but considering like Bruce and Selina were married pretty recently in the comics, now I kind of think of them.
Most people didn't like that though, did they?
I'm not kind of who I see him with now, especially like even in the Injustice games and stuff.
Yeah, I just like Batman and Talia is where I always go. I think they complement each other well. I've never been a huge Batman Catwoman fan.
I mean, Batman and Talia makes the most sense because of Damian.
Yeah, I think Batman and Catwoman works as like a flirting dynamic more than it does a relationship.
Oh yeah, for sure, I agree with that. Talia definitely suits Batman more.
Okay, so yes, so anyway, jumping into the man who killed Batman.
And I'll be smiling again, just as soon as we take that man there, and slap him in that box there, and roll it into that vat of acid there.
What do you think of this one, Connor? Did you think Batman was actually dead?
I did. I thought that was it. I thought he was done. I thought we were going to see Dick Grayson or Alfred take over the Cowl after this episode, and that was who it was for the rest of it. But
Alfred as Batman.
Yeah, should have known not to trust the people who wrote this episode, because they tricked me again. Batman wasn't dead.
They're cowards.
Yeah, they were cowards. they didn't kill him off. But I know you said that Almost Got Him is the funnest episode of the series for you. I think this is probably the funnest episode of the series for me.
Oh, really? I do think this episode is really fun, but
yeah, it was a nice kind of like small scale episode of just seeing this random guy end up screwing over the biggest hero in Gotham and the biggest villain in Gotham, which is pretty funny.
Yes, the Joker was my favorite part of this episode.
Yeah,
he was
for sure.
This isn't even really a Joker episode, but this might be my favorite Joker episode. Like, this is the most I've liked the Joker so far.
What, 5 minutes?
Yeah, he only showed up I think he showed up about 12 minutes in and then was gone like 5-6 minutes later.
It's cool seeing Harley, not as Harley, but as Harleen Quinzel.
Yeah, that's something else. Like, do they not know Harleen Quinzel became Harley Quinn?
Yeah. And Bullock's like, I recognize you from somewhere.
Yeah,
also, we see the hyenas.
Would those red flags just not, go off in your head?
It's like, that's, one of the most dangerous people in Gotham.
I mean, I guess at this point, Harley isn't really her own character yet, though. Like, everyone still sees her as Joker's henchling.
In this, she's just tied to Joker.
Yeah, because even when she gets Sid in the car and putting on all the makeup, he's like, wait, I know you. You work for the Joker.
Yeah.
I don't think he stuttered that much, but that's how I heard it.
that was, I mean, it makes sense for Sid, how we see him in the whole episode. Like, I'm surprised he didn't stutter that much.
Yeah.
And I liked how Joker was, like, when he thought the Batman actually was dead, that he was really sad, because he didn't get to be the one who killed him.
Yeah, and this version of Joker, anyway, and a lot of versions, like, will never actually kill Batman, because...
Yeah, because they want to keep the fight up.
Yeah, it has to... Or if they do kill Batman, it has to be, like, the perfect death, and it's just not possible to pull that off.
Yeah, plus, Joker normally doesn't want to see Batman die until after Batman breaks his no-killing rule.
Yeah, and that's actually the perfect death thing is kind of a focus of Mad Love, which will be towards the end of the new Batman adventure, so it'll be a while from now, but...
Yeah. Well, that's actually an episode I know about, and just because of Joker and Harley, I don't even know why I know about that episode.
Well, it's the episode, it was a comic at first, I believe. It was a comic, then an episode.
That's why I remember that.
And it's Harley's origin, basically, so maybe that's why you've heard of it, know about it.
But yeah, I thought that this episode didn't actually really have pretty much any low points, I thought. Everything was fun or worked. Saw Thorn back again. The hyenas. This is the first time we see the hyenas, isn't it?
I believe so. I don't remember. Were they in the Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne when? No, I don't think they were when Hugo calls the Joker. I don't think.
I just like made point because they've become such a big part of Harley's character. Like they're even going to be in Birds of Prey.
Yes, they become a massive part of her character in this show.
Yeah. Speaking of Birds of Prey, Montoya's back in this episode, briefly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. Instead, I ended up going to jail after all.
Yep, and he's a big shot now, I guess, for nearly killing Batman.
Do we ever see him again?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think the Joker's inclusion just elevates this episode so much, and like just the pacing throughout the episode. There's not really a dull moment, like you said. Like it keeps going. And
yeah, it flows into the different kind of mistakes it is making very well.
Yeah, and it kind of like keeps the mystery up, not necessarily of whether Batman's like dead or not, because I mean you pretty much know he's not. But like, how did?
Well, I did.
Yeah, but like, how did Sid escape the Joker? Like, how did he live through that? And as Batman,
it's like no one's that stupid or lucky.
And also, one of the best lines in the show, I think, this is probably the most memorable line from the Joker for me, is, and I'll be smiling once again once we take that man there, slap him into that box there, and throw him into that vat of acid there.
Joker had some really good lines in this.
Yeah, like, Mark Hamill is just having the time of his life in this episode.
I'd like more like that, where Joker's kind of dealing with stupid people like that.
Yeah, no, like, this episode also, it just displays how, like, important Batman really is to the Joker. And,
yeah.
Like he says, without Batman, crime has no punchline.
Yeah, that was a really good line, actually, as well, I liked.
Like, yeah, like, crime isn't fun to him if Batman's not there to stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this episode it displays the Joker-Batman dynamic perfectly.
Yeah.
And they don't even interact.
They weren't even interacting.
It's just really good. It's just really good writing and really good character development.
Yeah. It handled the comedy elements well. It handled the character elements well.
Yeah, because even at the beginning of the heist, Joker doesn't believe that Batman's dead. He's like stealing all this stuff, having the time of his life, and he's like, if Batman's truly not gone, I'll take care of it myself. Pretty much. And then when Batman doesn't show, like the cops are coming and everything, he's like, put it back. And they're like, what?
Yeah, he was actually kind of a dick to Harley in that scene.
He's always a dick to Harley.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but like there was more noticeable than usual.
Yeah.
That's why I hate when people like put them two together as a couple. I'm like, well, they shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's kind of like you've seen Harley Quinn, right?
Yeah.
In the first episode of Harley Quinn, when Joker chooses to let Batman go and drops Harley into the acid, which is actually margarita mix, and like she sees everything that actually happened, she's like, it wasn't me, it's always been him.
That's one of the best things about the Harley Quinn anime show is her like hating Joker now.
Yeah, and I don't know, I've always loved the most important person to the Joker is Batman.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Joker's always gonna pick Batman over Harley Quinn.
Yeah, and it's just so much more interesting because Batman doesn't. Of course, he doesn't feel that way about the Joker, but
yeah.
So yeah, Connor, do you have anything else to add, or?
Not really. It's a fun episode. It was probably the funnest one I've had yet.
Oh yeah, so one more thing I want to add real quick is towards the end, like after Sid said all this and Rupert's kind of got the gun on him, and you hear the thugs getting beat up or whatever. First of all, I don't know why Thorn just didn't shoot Squid and then look at the door.
Yeah. It didn't make a lot of sense, but it was fun. I mean, I get Squid's lucky.
Yeah, he's lucky, but when Batman burst through the door, the score they have over that was just, it was amazing. Like, I don't know, the music was just really good in that moment.
Yeah. The music's always good in the show.
Oh, yeah. So, Connor, yeah, letter grades.
I give it a B+. It's very close to an A-.
Okay, well, I'm giving it an A+, another A+.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I like this one more than I Am the Night, but...
Yeah, I'd need to give I Am the Night a rewatch now after what you've said about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I Am the Night, like, it just has a lot of emotional depth for me, which is why it's, like, it's one of the more memorable and ones that are, like, close to me.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, Connor, next time we'll be talking about Mudslide, Paging the Crime Doctor, and Zatanna.
Oh, finally, Zatanna.
Yes, we'll finally get Zatanna.
I'm hyped. I love Zatanna. One of my favorite DC characters.
Yeah, the only non-Batman related character that will be introduced before the new Batman adventures.
Count Vertigo.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, hero, not character. Hero.
Okay, yeah.
I need you to listen